ChatGPT and why it likes that word foster and profound. It's like, I need you to use a
Yeah.
different word.
In this supervision session, we are looking at different tools that we can use as therapists to be able to help us with identifying who our ideal client is and being able to write bios and other marketing material. Here, the associate is talking more about shifting their demographic to something that is closer to their own lived experiences and the interests that they have as a therapist. I think a lot of times it's important for you to be able to understand and be interested in the things that your client are bringing to you in order for you to be able to help them in a more effective manner.
The only thing is, it's like I tell people I market to anxiety because that's what people recognize. And so when they're
Mm,
thinking about how they feel, they're not going to say, I feel like I'm experiencing trauma. They're going to say, I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm stressed out. They're going to use those types of words versus trauma. When we talk to them and they start to explain what's going on, we realize that that anxiety is a symptom of the trauma. And
yeah.
so when you're talking to your ideal client, you want to be able to make sure that you are using the language that they would use. You want to talk to the symptoms that they're having and kind of phrase it in a way that, would bring them in. And so if you talk to like all this trauma, a lot of people don't think that they have trauma. Or they're like, oh, I wasn't
Mhm.
a war veteran, or I didn't go through, like SA or something like that. And so they won't categorize themselves as somebody that you work with. And that's why it's important to kind of use that language. What kind of prompt did you give ChatGPT in order to write your bio?
Here, the associate is focusing on some of the changes that they want to make in their bio while also looking at what they previously had and how they can reuse that in what they're creating for themselves now in order to make the job a little bit easier.
And so what I would do is, like, in your prompt for ChatGPT, I would describe your ideal client. And it's like, I know
Okay.
before you was talking about like young college students, and it's like, I want to write an about me that, targets like this population that are going through X, Y, and Z, that may have grown up in this area, that may be working a job while also going to school. You want to really define it. And so, and tell it to like use examples of things that they may be going through based on this description. Then it will
Mm.
kind of pull out like all the things that you're talking about and hopefully give you an outline of, or like the section, the beginning section, to really grab their attention of, you're struggling, with being able to maintain your grades while also, taking care of home and raising your child as a single mother or whatever it may be. And so
Mhm.
the more that you can tell ChatGPT about your ideal client, the more they'll be able to capture the struggles of your ideal client or the potential struggles. And of course, it's not going to know, it's going to make a lot of stereotypical kind of assumptions, and you can kind of go in
Mm.
and tweak things here and there to kind of really make it fit your population of people.
Here, the associate is talking a little bit about the challenges of using ChatGPT to be able to deliver what they are looking for. Sometimes with technology, it doesn't always do the things that we want it to do, and it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out how to make things work the best for us.
And also just being able to like look at what it's giving you and figure out like what's the problem is. Like I'll say a lot of times like, no, that's not quite right. I want it to be more of X, Y, and Z. It was one time I was trying to describe, like, I forgot what it was, but it's like the escalation of like feelings and how like
Mm.
feelings kind of progress into like the actions. And it was giving me the reverse. And I was like, no, not that way. I want it the other way. And so they was,
Mhm.
when I told them that I wanted it the other way, they were able to kind of come up with the emotional escalation or something like that, that they were that I was looking for, because I couldn't think of what the word of it, what it was called, and they were giving me the reverse thing, and I was like, no, I want the other way. And so then it was able
Mm.
to kind of like, oh, okay. And so it's learning from you, and like the more information that you give it, the easier it'll be able to kind of generate what you're looking for.
So, honing in on your ideal client and the specializations that you want as a therapist is something that I would say I talk about in almost every single one of my supervision sessions. as you are starting off as a therapist or as you are working through a graduate program, you're met with so many different populations of people, so many different theories, so many different styles of therapists. And as you start working with them in the field, you start to weed out who you're interested in and who you're not interested in, what specializations you like and which ones you don't like. And so a lot of our discussions within supervision is being okay with excluding people or theories or things that you don't like, and being able to really focus in on your strengths and what you enjoy doing so that you can do this for a very long time. So this is another example of what it looks like to be in supervision with me. It is always, what do you need as an associate today? I do not push my own agenda. I always make sure, as I do with my clients, is that you're getting what you need today.